Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1 and welcome to Boots on the Ground. Let's get right into it. If you have anything you could add that would benefit other people, please send it to southernprepper1@yahoo.com. southernprepper1@yahoo.com. A lot of people say, well, it's not that important, I wasn't going to send it. Everything's important. It is a data point. It will help me, and it definitely helps other people understand what's happening in the whole economy of the United States. This is from the Mississippi River and the problems that they're having with the barges. There's actually a log jam up right now of the barges because they're having a problem with the low water, and it is causing a huge problem. And they're actually, Coast Guard is actually saying they're going to have to dredge and try to make it deeper, because this is a critical time right now to move all the grain. This stuff is moved on the Mississippi with barges, so it's a huge problem. The Coast Guard said 122 vessels were lined up in both directions near Stack Island in Louisiana, and 15 in Mississippi due to grounding. So they got to get this fixed. The best thing would be is a lot of rain to raise the level, and that would create an opportunity to get all these grains, wheat, oats moved properly. As you've probably been keeping up with President Biden and his comments, Armageddon, he said some things that we are in the most dangerous times since the Cuban Missile Crisis. So I hope you're topping off your preps. I hope you're preparing. I hope you're not panicking, but preparing and praying. Articles sent to me about Poland. They actually temporarily suspended their air quality for their country because a lot of people now are burning more coal, burning more wood to stay warm because of the natural gas crisis and the electricity prices that have just gone sky high. There's also now reports that households are saving anything that's burnable and not throwing it away with their trash. So cardboard, paper, anything that can be burned is being burned in wood and coal stoves. And the garbage men have actually seen this because they're picking up less garbage. This is something that happened to a farmer, and it's actually sad. It was overseas. He actually went to do his roundup of his sheep, and he was missing 116, had vanished from his flock of 460. It was definitely sad, and they think what happened was they were all stolen, they were butchered, they were sold on the black market. So crimes here are happening too with livestock, and they're happening overseas. This is not an isolated incident where we're the only ones being affected by bad economic times, a hard logistical. It is happening everywhere, and everyone is suffering. This came from someone from Alaska. We are truly perplexed at this time in history because more and more things are unpredictable. Yesterday, some men came over on the island, St. Lawrence Island here in Alaska, seeking asylum. They were actually coming from Russia, and they came across because they do not want to be drafted and have to fight in Ukraine. So that is surprising it's happened, but it's, you know, if you're going to flee Russia, you might as well come to the United States and ask for political asylum. But they're saying they've already had an influx in their area of Ukrainians that were brought in to their Alaskan town. So they're asking, you know, it's going to be very hard to bring in a lot of people to Alaska because right now they're starting to get into wintertime, and wintertime is very severe. It's not like you can go in California or Florida. You can put homeless people out on the streets and they can survive in tents. In Alaska, you can't do that. Also, they're saying that the price in Alaska are keep going up. Just for a regular gallon of gas is $5.49. They say food shelves are looking more and more thin here. So, just they go on and on. But they're having a problem too with their logistical supply, because in Alaska it's even harder. You got to send it by boat, or you got to send it by semi. Let's move over to Safeway. They were going to Safeway, the grocery store, and they looked over and they noticed their local bank. And in line outside was 75 to 100 Mexicans, which really gets your attention because this is not normal. And they were waiting to get into the bank, and it was already at 4 p.m. and the bank usually closes at 5 p.m. We could see where where males between about 20 and 30, and all of them had some kind of paperwork. When I drove past, it seemed to be like a dark blue object, paperwork, maybe a passport. They're not 100% sure what it was, but that was very uncommon for them to see that many people of that age, of that race, in line. So something's up. I don't know if the government is assisting them in any way, but if anyone has any information, please add to it. This person has a relative interning at a large hospital in California, and this intern overheard a worker at the hospital saying that supplies are on back order and they're running out of a lot of stuff. A lot of people sent me about the Federal Reserve announcing that major pilot exercise for the social credit scoring system. That is starting up here, it looks like. Also, the Las Vegas stabbing that occurred. 2 dead, I think 8 were wounded. You're not even safe on vacation. So when you go on vacation, don't let your guard down. This person said, it's been a few months since I sent the last message. Since then, Geico has laid off approximately 100 people in human resources, several more staff attorneys, and dozens from smaller departments. Today, 15% of the IT workforce was laid off. That's 400 people. Some had tenure of 35 plus years. Many were 10 plus year employees. There was directors, managers, supervisors, and associates laid off. Literally everyone at Geico is concerned for their job. They said, I'm okay if you actually use the company's name. Everyone needs to know that it can affect, if it can affect the second largest insurer in the country, it can affect any company. We are in troubled times. This is a post from Nextdoor. Nextdoor.com, the app. The lady said, or they said, by chance, did anyone see or hear my property being broken into sometime in the last couple of days? My lock was cut off my gate, and my generator, a 500-gallon black water tank, and a 16-foot trailer were stolen. And then they give the location of their property. Be alert these days, they say. This happened in New Mexico. I'm still a little dumbfounded. I went to a junk car part shop. All I wanted was a headlight, an old round type to use as a constant current load for a 12-volt battery tester I'm making. He looked around on the computer and said the cheapest he had would be $80 for a plain old headlamp. After I finally got my jaw off the floor, I left still dazed. They said, I'm going to start stealing headlamps. What plan am I on? Because this one is a bat blank crazy place. $80 for a light. This person sent me some pictures of Costco, and they have never noticed that the flour supply at this Costco has been low, but it was drastically low. They also showed me a picture of their cart, which had some things in it, and they spent $202. Unbelievable. Not much left, not much in the cart. I remember when I could fill the cart full and give them $50 bill and get change back. This person just left their Ace Hardware in Iowa, and the lady at the register was telling another customer that paint is going up a lot next month. She also says she's far behind on price changes because they're changing the prices at the store so quickly they can't keep up changing them actually on the shelf next to the price or next to the item. The lady also said, she said, everything is going up. And we all know that. We all shop. This is a few things that they noticed in the area. I work for a large trauma center and was recently pulled from the surgical ICU to a medical floor to help. I noticed a sign hanging in their medication room warning of a shortage of 10cc saline flush. And this is used to flush the IV lines after medications are given. They also want to say that they were on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And I'm starting to notice some rest areas or gas stations do not have fuel. So tell viewers not to wait till last drop at some rest areas because there's some that don't have it, and then there's many miles between. So that's a wise thing. Don't ever get your car down low. Always try to keep it as full as possible, even if that requires you on vacation to make more frequent stops. This person lives in Oregon. But I guess it's only close by. There is a pharmacy that actually had to close because there are over 1,000 prescription refills behind. And it's causing a lot of problems because people cannot get their prescriptions. This is from upstate New York. Things are strange. I live in the village. While just up the hill there was lots of dairy farms. One has become a solar farm that produces nothing. I guess it does produce something, solar, electric. But they have destroyed the farmland and shut down the dairy farm. It used to be beautiful land with geese flocking in after the harvest. Now it's just an eyesore. Also, the deer is invading our garden and orchard. And they're trying to figure out what's up with this. They ate every apple and pear on my tree and cleaned up all the drops. They've never done this before. My daughter said the squirrels were gnawing through her pumpkins. Even the birds are coming in early to the feeders. All of my friends say wildlife seems very hungry this year and pretty bold in their quest for food. Do they sense a rough winter? Or are we destroying the sources of food in the wild? And that is a good question. Maybe a combination of both. But prepare for winter, especially if you're up north. This person lives in North Carolina. They say grocery stores are pretty stocked, but prices are skyrocketing. My favorite barbecue sauce is now $7. They also said a 40-pound bag of 10-10-10 fertilizer at Tractor Supply is now $27. It has doubled since spring. This comes from the Netherlands. So just see what other people are seeing, and they're seeing exactly what we are seeing. I will go briefly through it. They sent a great report. They're saying that their official inflation numbers are sky high. I think they said it was like 17.1% in September, and it's been the highest number since World War II. The August inflation was only 13.7, was a record also. And they're saying because of rising fuel prices. It looks like the new number for September is 14.5% inflation. So really, they're feeling it worse than us with the official numbers. But I believe our government is not really giving us the right numbers. They said a canning factory, I guess it's Hack, H-A-K, will stop production coming January for 6 weeks because the natural gas prices are way too high to produce economically. So looks like for 6 weeks a major cannery in the Netherlands will be out of commission because of the natural gas prices. And they're also saying a record drop in housing prices for them, and we're feeling the same thing over here. Let's go over to Colorado. I went to Sam's Club, and this is in Colorado, and the toilet paper pallet was very low, and this was sort of scary, sort of reminded of last time it happened. And then I saw a guy with a cart full of big packages stacked as high as he could fit in the store. So I'm wondering if this is starting up again or people getting spooked over a Russia situation. I have not seen it here locally. My toilet paper supply in my stores every time I go is fine. Does anyone have any information? This person was talking to the cashier. They were checking out. I think it was a home improvement store. I cannot remember what. They were buying a saw blade, and the saw blade was only $10, but it had to be deactivated from sounding the theft alarm. And they were joking because it's such a low amount. And the cashier said, oh, this is a major hardware chain, and this is in Washington. And the cashier was saying it really doesn't matter because people just walk in and walk out with hundreds of dollars worth of stuff and don't even worry. This is a growing problem, and it's costing businesses billions of dollars. This is our boots on the ground reporter in Australia, MK. She goes on to say that there's 4 major banks in Australia. The Commonwealth banking branch in my town closed at the beginning of the year. The Commonwealth ATM remained on the side of the building. I went to get money out of the ATM this morning, and there was a notice saying the ATM will be removed in the near future. So now no access to withdrawals or deposit cash with my bank. To access my Commonwealth account, I have to drive to another town because the ATM will be gone quickly. There's another bank in town, St. George's Bank, and they were removed several months ago, their ATM, and another ATM was replaced with it, but now that ATM charges a fee. The only banking facility in town is now a credit union, which has more limited hours and recently downsized their location. There is a credit union ATM, which is in a small shopping arcade, but it's closed after hours and there's no access. There's also a fee charge to withdraw cash. There's no facility in their area now to deposit cash at the ATM. So yes, more and more it looks like we will be going to a digital currency, and that's probably going to be worldwide. This person stopped at a local coin shop and was amazed to see how many people selling boxes of coins. Times must be getting tough, they said. This person just wants to know, people that were in the Florida area, that a lot of insurance companies will cover your loss of perishable foods. So, you know, if you're throwing it all away, maybe check with them. Probably most people have already thrown it away because it'd be totally rotted by now. Just a quick note, thinking outside the box, my sister-in-law drove by a farm. We had just finished harvesting acres of potatoes. Took a lot of guts, but she stopped and asked if she could glean any left in the field. He just smiled and told her to help herself. They'd just go to waste if the machine doesn't grab them. She spent the afternoon, but filled her car with approximately 150 pounds of free potatoes. So that is great news. Yes, if you see something, ask. A lot of times people will let you have it. And that's how I get free material, and it builds a relationship. And guess what? I have had people call me back and say, hey, I got some more of this. Would you like it? I'm on the budget plan for natural gas. I use it for heating, drying clothes, and hot water. My monthly bill just increased from $113 per month to $166 per month. That's a 47% increase. I called the gas company, and they said in September they paid $3.56 per unit, and in October it went to $7.43 per unit. And this person's in Michigan. So start adjusting your budget now. You are going to be hit with a lot higher costs, so start right now figuring out how you can pay for it. I emailed you in July that I bought a gas stove and it was supposed to be installed this Friday. The company called me yesterday and said the manufacturer couldn't get a part that comes from overseas, so now the installation date has been moved to the first week of December. You were right. You said maybe by Christmas. A lot of people are suffering shortages trying to build houses and get things done. This is a quick note from San Antonio, Walmart. 6 weeks ago, I purchased a dozen cage-free eggs, the Farmhouse brand, for just a tad less than $3. I kept the receipt. So now I went back, and the same dozen eggs are almost $5. That is a 70% increase in 6 weeks. As we go along, we're going to get more and more price increases. There's no way around this. What we need to do is cut back. If you have to take a part-time job, do it. Do whatever you can to continue prepping and to use your money wisely. Thanks for watching.